They don't need to destroy you completely. They just need to make you feel something strong, like anger, guilt, or shame. One emotional mistake, and you hand them control over your mind. Machiavelli understood this long ago. Whoever controls your emotions ends up controlling your future. Your enemies won't always come at you with attacks. Instead, they'll come at you with feelings. They'll twist your loyalty, play on your fear, and give you false hope. And the second you react, you've already lost. But what if you didn't react? What if their insults bounced off you? What if their compliments meant nothing to you? What if your silence scared them more than your anger ever could? To be emotionally powerful doesn't mean you stop feeling. It means you become hard to read. You're not cold-hearted, just sharp. You're not numb, just strong. This message isn't telling you to feel less. It's teaching you how to control what others never need to see. Because when you control your emotions, people stop controlling you. And that makes you dangerous. Since the day you were born, people have told you a lie. That feeling things deeply means you're truly alive. That caring too much is a good thing. That being emotionally sensitive makes you a good person. But Machiavelli would ask you one question. Who benefits from your sensitivity? Not you. The more you feel, the easier it is for others to use you. The more you care, the more people take from you. And the more you react, the more control they have over you. Real power starts when emotion stops controlling you. But here's what weak people don't understand. You don't need to stop feeling. You don't need to stop being human. You just need to stop reacting to everything. You still feel. You still think. But you keep it inside. You don't give away your feelings like free samples. You hold them. You use them with purpose, like a tool. You save your emotions for moments that actually serve you. Everything changes when you stop needing others to understand you. You stop needing approval. You stop needing people to feel sorry for you. You stop needing connection to feel alive. You stop trying to explain yourself. You just start focusing on your mission. Machiavelli quietly wrote something powerful in The Prince. It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. Love comes from emotion. Fear comes from control. And control comes from mastering emotion. So how do you become strong without becoming heartless? You start by changing how you think about emotion. Most people act based on how they feel. They get angry and speak. They get scared and run. They get hurt and react. But this is not strength. This is animal behavior. It's primitive. It's reactive. But you're not here to be prey. You're here to become the predator. Smart, calm, steady. The emotionally dangerous man watches his own feelings like a general studies a war. He doesn't panic when he's betrayed. He doesn't blink when threatened. He doesn't speak when silence has more power. This man doesn't explode. He waits. He doesn't beg. He vanishes. He doesn't scream. He recalculates. Why? Because he understands one truth. Your calm is your weapon. Your stillness sends a message. And your lack of care? That's power. To reach this level, you must stop needing emotional approval. Stop trying to get praise. Stop trying to be understood. Stop telling your pain to people who secretly use it against you. You don't owe anyone your emotions, but you owe yourself peace. Everything begins to change when you guard your emotional energy like treasure. You don't react to every insult. You don't explain every choice. You don't defend your goals to people who've never done anything with their lives. Most importantly, you detach, not because you don't feel, but because feeling too much makes you easy to read. And if people can read you, they can replace you. This was the art Machiavelli practiced in secret. He wore masks not to lie, but to stay protected. He stayed unreadable not to deceive, but to stay in control. moving from emotional chaos to calm control. That is your transformation. When you stop letting your emotions control your actions, you begin controlling the world without them even touching you. This is the power of being emotionally cold. Not cruel, just untouchable. Not heartless, just unreachable. You no longer let others move you. You become the one who moves them. Once you reach that level, you don't just become emotionally dangerous. You become emotionally untouchable. Look around. Power doesn't come from force anymore. It comes through emotions. People now conquer others by making them feel, not by hurting their bodies, but by twisting their minds. You're not losing battles with fists. You're losing battles with feelings. And every time you react emotionally, you give them more power. A sigh, a tear, a shout. It all tells them where your weak points are. They now know how to upset you. They know how to shake you. And worse, they know how to control you. Emotions aren't private. They are public signals. And in the game of power, the one who shows their emotions first is the one who loses. Most people make this mistake. They think being emotional means being honest. They think opening up is brave. But Machiavelli would laugh. He didn't write for people who wanted to be liked. He wrote for people who wanted power. He knew the truth. Power is quiet. Power is calm. Power doesn't feel unless it has to. You might think you're being real when you cry, but what you're really doing is showing your wounds to people who will make them worse. You might think yelling is strength, but the moment you yell, they know you've lost control, and that's when they win. That's how strong men fall. Not because they're weak, but because they can't detach from their feelings. The sad part? Most people are proud of how emotional they are. They say, "At least I'm being real." But that's not real. That's predictable. That's readable. That's weak. In a world that watches everything, being emotionally open is dangerous. Let's be clear. If someone can make you angry, they can make you act without thinking. If someone can make you feel guilty, they can make you betray your values. If your past still controls your emotions, it controls your future too. And if you're always emotionally open, someone will come along and break you, just because they can. Your enemy doesn't want to hurt your body. They want to take over your mind. And they do it by playing with your feelings. It doesn't matter how smart you are. It doesn't matter how kind you are. If you can't control your emotional response, you will never have power. Because in this world, emotions are currency. And most people are giving theirs away for free. Every time you explode, you're giving your enemy the tools to use against you. That's the hidden war no one sees. Not a war with weapons, but with reactions. And here's the truth. You're not losing because you're not smart enough. You're losing because you haven't learned to protect your feelings. You think people don't see your insecurities, but they do. You think they don't notice your hunger for attention, but they smell it, and they use it. You start to feel lost, tired, drained, not because the world is cruel, but because you never learned how to guard your emotions. That's the problem. Emotional control isn't something you're born with. It's a skill. And like any weapon, it has to be sharpened, tested, and mastered in silence. Machiavelli didn't wait for luck or hope. He believed in preparation. He said, "A wise man does quickly what a fool does slowly." If you want to be emotionally dangerous, train for it, not by pushing your feelings away, but by studying them, changing them, and turning them into power. Here's how it starts. Step 1. Pause before you react. This is your first sign of strength, stillness. When something makes you angry or upset, don't react. Pause, not to calm down, but to observe. Stay silent. Let them wait. Watch them squirm. The longer you wait, the more power shifts to you. In most cases, that silence will show you there. real intention. You'll see their fear, their need for control. And now they're exposed. Step 2. Replace emotion with strategy. Most people respond with feelings. The powerful man responds with plans. Instead of asking, "How do I feel about this?" ask, "What gives me more control here?" Let go of ego, pride, and the need to win arguments. Being right means nothing if you lose control. Don't seek emotional relief. Seek power. Let your revenge be silence while they destroy themselves. Step 3. Train your triggers. Know what upsets you. Is it being ignored? Being rejected? Good. Now train yourself. Put yourself in those exact situations again and again. Not to suffer, but to take your power back. Let them mock you and stay calm. Let them lie and stay silent. Each time you do that, your triggers lose power. Soon, nothing will move you unless you choose it. Step 4. Control your face. Your face is a battlefield. Machiavelli knew people read your eyes before they attack. So train your face to show nothing. No twitch, no weakness, no fear. Practice. In the mirror, keep still. Smile only when it's useful. Frown only when it sends a message. And when they try to upset you, give them nothing but calm eyes and a still face. Watch them break. Step 5. Say less. Words are like money, and most people spend too much. Speak only when needed. Let silence do the rest. Weak people explain everything. They ramble. They confess. But you speak to lead, correct, or confuse. Let them fear your silence. When they can't read your words, they'll fear your thoughts. These 5 steps: pause, reframe, train, still your face, and speak less, are not tricks. They're disciplines. And the more you practice them, the stronger you get. You're not running from pain. You're learning how to use it. This is what Machiavelli called your inner fortress. Not walls around your house, but walls inside your mind. Walls that even love, hate, or betrayal can't break. When you finally control your emotions, your life changes. People talk to you differently. Conversations get shorter. Your silence says everything. You don't need to prove anything. Most people live by reacting. They show every feeling on their face. They talk too much. They give away their power. But once you stop doing that, once you control your emotions, you become someone people don't know how to handle. They hesitate. They test you. And they stop. They realize their games don't work on you. You don't beg. You don't chase. You stay still. And that stillness, it makes you powerful. Because they can't read you. And they don't know what you'll do next. This emotional control gives you quiet power. You don't argue. You don't raise your voice. You don't explain. But people respect you anyway. Not because you ask them to, but because you give them no choice. The less you show, the more they fear what you might be thinking. That fear becomes your control. You stop needing people emotionally. You stop relying on their praise. You become harder to reach. They can't control you with guilt or flattery. You stop falling for emotional traps. And this control becomes your new identity. People start to treat you like someone who doesn't break easily. They adjust their behavior. They speak more carefully. And they learn they can't play games with you. This is transformation. You gain respect, not by force, but by removing what makes most people weak. Uncontrolled emotion. You don't fight. You don't explain. You don't beg. You just stop giving people access to your emotions. And because of that, you rise above all of them. Emotional power isn't something you earn once. It's something you build every day. It's not a phase. It's a discipline. You become emotionally dangerous, not by accident, but by choosing it, repeating it, refusing to let others control you. Refuse to react. Refuse to explain. Refuse to give away control. Most people lose emotional power because they get too comfortable. They think they've healed. They trust too quickly. They become soft, not on the outside, but on the inside. They get angry too fast. They start justifying themselves. They show weakness in their voice. And that quiet power they had, it slips away. To stay emotionally strong, you must protect your most dangerous weapon, your response. Your patience will be tested. Your beliefs will be challenged. People will insult you just to see if you react. They'll lie to see if you'll beg. They'll ignore you to see if you'll break your silence. And if you react like most men, you've already lost. But if you give them nothing, you take everything back. This mindset starts in your mind. Watch your feelings like a strategist studies his opponent. When you're angry, don't explode. Study it. When someone disrespects you, don't explain. Save it. When you feel sad or lonely, don't get lost. Step back, observe it, and use it. Not all feelings deserve your actions. Most are just noise, meant to shake your focus. The strong man lets these emotions pass like wind. He stays the same in sunshine and storm. Another way to stay powerful is to detach. That doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop tying your peace to things you can't control. Stop expecting people to be kind or honest. Stop assuming they'll understand you. Expect betrayal. Be ready for disrespect. Know that people do what's best for them, not you. And when you accept that, nothing surprises you anymore. You also build inner distance. You keep your thoughts private, your feelings protected, and your reactions hidden. You don't owe anyone an explanation. You don't defend your silence. You don't argue with people who aren't on your level. You speak when it helps you. You act when it benefits you. The rest, you let go. The emotionally dangerous man moves like a shadow, present but untouchable. He doesn't react to drama. He doesn't chase attention. He doesn't need approval. His power comes from what he holds back, not what he shows. That mystery, that silence, it earns more respect than any speech ever could. You also must guard your surroundings. Don't keep people close who love drama. Don't explain yourself to people who enjoy confusion. Choose silence over small talk. Choose being alone over fake support. The world is full of people pretending to care just to gather your secrets. You don't need them. You need peace. And peace comes from controlling your emotions, your space, and your time. Staying emotionally strong means keeping your blade sharp, even when no one is fighting you. You stay calm in peace so you're ready when the storm returns. You train your face to stay still, your voice to stay level, your mind to stay sharp. You don't rehearse anger, you rehearse control. Most people think danger only comes from physical strength, weapons, or political power. But history shows us that the most dangerous people were not always the strongest or the richest. They were the ones who understood emotions better than anyone else. They could remain calm in storms, make others panic without raising their voice, and inspire loyalty or fear with a single glance. Machiavelli knew this well. He believed that power is never just about what you can do with your hands. It's about what you can control in the minds and hearts of people around you. The person who is emotionally dangerous cannot be manipulated. They cannot be broken with insults, threats, or charm. They are steady when others are shaken. This is why they are respected, even by those who wish to see them fail. To become emotionally dangerous, you must first master yourself. This is harder than it sounds. Most people are puppets of their own feelings. Anger pulls their strings. Jealousy moves their hands. Fear makes their knees shake. A single careless word from someone else can ruin their entire day. This makes them predictable and easy to control. But a dangerous person is unreadable. You can insult them, and they will smile. You can try to provoke them, and they will give you nothing. They know that showing their emotions openly is like handing their enemy a weapon. The less people can read you, the less they can control you. Machiavelli would tell you that in politics and in life, your feelings are a private matter. They should be kept behind a wall where no one can reach them. That does not mean you must be cold or inhuman. It means you choose when and how to display emotion, just as a warrior chooses when to draw his sword. If you are always angry, your enemies will know how to push your buttons. If you are always kind, they will know how to use your kindness against you. But if you reveal nothing until the right moment, you keep control of the battlefield. This is the heart of emotional danger. You choose the timing, and in doing so, you choose the outcome. One of the most important abilities you can develop is the power to stay calm when others are losing control. In times of chaos, people instinctively look for a leader, someone who seems unshaken. If that person is you, you gain influence without asking for it. Calmness in the face of chaos makes people trust you, even if they don't know why. They feel that you see things they cannot see, that you have a plan when they have only panic. This gives you silent authority. And silent authority is often stronger than loud commands. But being emotionally dangerous is not just about hiding your feelings, it's also about using them as a weapon when necessary. Machiavelli would say that sometimes fear is more reliable than love. If you show the right emotion at the right time, you can bend the will of others. A sudden flash of controlled anger can make someone think twice before crossing you. A well-timed display of compassion can make an ally fiercely loyal. The key word here is control. Without it, you're just reacting. With it, you're directing the scene like a master strategist. Another part of emotional danger is learning to detach from personal insults and betrayal. The moment you take things too personally, you lose perspective. Machiavelli understood that betrayal is part of human nature. To him, it was not a shocking tragedy. It was an expected move in the game of power. If you expect betrayal, you prepare for it. And when it comes, you do not break down. You act. This is what makes people fear you, not rage, not revenge, but your ability to remain composed while plotting your next step. This detachment also makes it easier to manipulate the emotions of others without being manipulated yourself. If you can remain calm while others are emotionally invested, you have the upper hand. You can see their weaknesses clearly because you're not blinded by your own. You can decide whether to push them, comfort them, or leave them guessing. Each of these choices is a tool, and you decide when to use it. Machiavelli's world was full of ambitious men, court intrigue, and shifting alliances. In that environment, showing too much emotion was like bleeding in shark-infested waters. The same is true in modern life. In offices, relationships, and politics, the one who cannot control their emotions becomes a victim of those who can. People might pity you if you break down, but they will not respect you. Respect comes from restraint, and danger comes from the ability to act without being driven by impulse. Another important element is patience. Emotional danger requires you to wait for the perfect moment to act. Most people rush into decisions because they are angry or excited. This makes them vulnerable. But if you can wait, if you can let your emotions burn quietly inside while you watch and plan, you will often find that the right opportunity appears on its own. Then, when you strike, it feels sudden and inevitable. People will call it ruthless. You will call it timing. It is also essential to understand that emotional danger is not cruelty. It is not about hurting people for no reason. It is about making yourself immune to harm while keeping the power to influence outcomes. You might choose to be kind because it serves your long-term interest. You might choose to be cold because the situation demands it. Either way, the choice is yours, and that is what makes you dangerous. You are not a slave to your emotions, you are their master. If you want to live by this principle, you must train yourself every day. Practice holding your tongue when you feel like speaking. Practice keeping a straight face when you are insulted. Practice speaking calmly when you are angry. These small acts of control will build a fortress around your mind, and when the real battles come, you will be ready. You will not be shaken by gossip, betrayal, or emotional traps. You will see them for what they are, moves in a game you already know how to play. The truth is, most people are not ready to be emotionally dangerous because it requires giving up the comfort of venting, oversharing, and reacting without thought. It requires you to let go of the idea that people should treat you fairly or understand you. Machiavelli would laugh at such hopes. The world is not fair, and people often act out of self-interest. To survive and thrive, you must accept this and prepare yourself. That preparation is emotional discipline. And emotional discipline is the root of emotional danger. When you master this, you will notice something strange. People will either be drawn to you or afraid of you, sometimes both at once. They will sense that you cannot be manipulated, that you cannot be easily swayed by flattery or threats. They will either respect you or keep their distance, but they will never forget you. That is the mark of someone who is truly dangerous, not because they shout the loudest, but because they can stand silently and still control the room. In the end, becoming emotionally dangerous is not about changing the world around you. It is about changing your relationship with your own emotions. Once you stop being ruled by them, you gain the freedom to use them as tools. That is when you become truly powerful. That is when you become the kind of person Machiavelli would have admired, the kind of person others must think twice about before they dare to challenge. That's where real power lives, not in yelling, but in silence. In the end, your greatest weapon is your emotional strength, not your money, not your muscles, not your words, but your ability to stay calm when the world tries to shake you. That's power. That's control. That's how you stay dangerous, quietly, consistently, forever. If this message lit a fire inside you, if it helped you shift your mindset even a little, then like this video. And if you want more lessons on power, control, and strategy, subscribe to this channel. This isn't just motivation. This is preparation. Stay sharp, stay calm, stay in control, and never let them see you bleed.